The alarm goes off at 5 a.m. because you've been told every extra hour of grind is a direct deposit into your future net worth. We are conditioned to believe that human exhaustion is the primary fuel for financial success. However, the people managing the world's largest pools of private capital often spend their days in total silence. Warren Buffett famously keeps a schedule that is nearly empty, sometimes choosing to wait years before making a single significant move. Modern hustle culture frames constant activity as a baseline for achievement, but this daily busyness creates a feedback loop where you are forced to react to urgent, minor problems instead of focusing on the few decisions that actually drive long-term growth. When every hour is consumed by reactive effort, you lose the ability to capture the massive economic shifts occurring over years. Constant activity often masks a lack of strategic options. In this sense, busyness is a symptom of poverty. The financial markets have spent over a century training participants to react instantly. Machines like this Western Union ticker turned price fluctuations into a constant, urgent stream of data, pressuring investors to move with every tick. Modern financial media amplifies this pressure, framing every earnings report or Fed meeting as a crisis that requires an immediate portfolio change. It creates an environment where standing still feels like falling behind. Elite allocators treat their attention as a strictly finite resource. They intentionally ignore 99% of market noise, preserving their mental energy for the rare moments when the data shows a clear, undeniable opportunity. Every time you react to a headline, you burn the cognitive capacity needed to recognize a world-changing shift. By the time a real opening appears, most traders have already exhausted their focus and their capital on noise. Imagine the global economy as a pitcher. It throws thousands of opportunities your way every single year, ranging from speculative IPOs to quarterly earnings surprises. This chart maps those opportunities. Most cluster in high-risk, low-reward zones. Investors feel obligated to swing at these daily fluctuations, incurring fees that slowly erode their principal. But the market doesn't penalize watching pitches. Eventually, an anomaly appears, a high-conviction opportunity with massive return potential. The allocator's primary job is to stand perfectly still at the plate for years, holding their capital in reserve until that singular, flawless opportunity arrives. Capital held in reserve behaves like potential energy. It is power waiting for a specific moment of release, rather than being dissipated through constant small movements. Watching peers make quick profits in a speculative bubble requires intense psychological discipline. It means choosing to remain liquid and motionless while others appear to be winning through hyperactivity. This chart compares both approaches. The jagged red line tracks the active trader. Downward spikes represent friction costs, fees and taxes, dragging down performance until cumulative losses drain the account to zero. Meanwhile, the allocator's principal line remains perfectly flat, completely ready to deploy. Financial leverage is generated by the volume of capital you can preserve for the future, rather than the frequency of your actions in the present. We are taught to measure status through kinetic displays, luxury goods, or the exhaustion of a back-to-back meeting schedule. In the global economy, however, the ultimate status symbol is a calendar with no appointments at all. An empty schedule provides the freedom to read 1,000 pages of raw data without a single institutional interruption. It allows for the deep analysis required to spot systemic inefficiencies before anyone else. Clearing your schedule of reactive tasks is the first step toward moving from a worker to an allocator. You must own your time before you can effectively own assets. After years of strategic stillness, there comes a single moment to deploy the capital you've hoarded. The most effective time to move is during a market crash. When systemic panic forces others to sell, it creates artificial discounts on high-quality assets that would otherwise be unaffordable. You use your preserved cash to buy into world-class businesses that are temporarily mispriced due to broader market fear, rather than their own fundamental performance. Because the rest of the market is liquidating out of fear, these assets become available for a fraction of their intrinsic value. Strategic stillness provides the capital to buy the world's best assets when they are cheapest. It builds a foundation of wealth while the rest of the market is simply trying to survive the exhaustion.